Hey everyone, how are you doing? This is Janice McKenzie, your professor, and today we're going to review a question on inside the official SAT study guide. And the question is on page 98, 981, question 16. And I'll just say the question. The question asks, to celebrate a colleague's graduation, the M workers in an office agreed to contribute equally to a catered lunch that cost a total of Y dollars. If P of the coworkers failed to contribute, which of the following represents the additional amount in dollars that each of the remaining coworkers must contribute to pay for the lunch? Now, when we are taking the SAT or any word or looking at any word problems for that matter, we should read the question once to get the gist of what it's saying, and then read it twice to find out what it's asking for, and then glance over it again to find out what is given. So when we look at the question again, we find out what is it asking for. It's asking for the additional amount that each of the remaining coworkers must pay up, right? They must contribute toward the lunch. And if we look at it again, we see that several things are given to us and several conditions are there. One, we see one of the givens that the total amount of workers is M, right? M coworkers in an office that agreed to contribute equally. We see that the cost of the total cost of the lunch is in Y dollars. And again, they're going to contribute equally. And another condition is that the amount of people that fail to pay up is P. We're going to call that P, right? It's P of them. So these are the given parameters that we have to solve this problem, and we can solve it. Now, the first thing we want to find, another thing we want to find out is the people that failed to pay up, right? How much of those people subtracted from the remaining people? Hold on, I'll edit this out.
Okay, say how can just say that because P people fail to pay, that causes the remaining people to cover what they failed to pay, which means the remaining people will pay more.
Okay, so the amount of people that failed to pay up, P people, are left out, and it caused the rest of the people who are paying to pay more. So let's look at the problem. What is the additional amount that each of the remaining co-workers must contribute? So we have a total of M people, right? And each of the M people, they must pay the total amount over the total amount of people. So the total amount of money over M people. Each of them has to pay Y over M. Total amount of dollars over M. Okay? Now, the other part of the question says that some of the people don't pay, right? So those people who aren't paying are contributing $0. They're contributing nothing. So we have people who are still going to the lunch. They're left over. So whatever they're not paying is being put a heavier burden is put on the remaining people. So the total amount of money that they're paying is going to be more than what they paid before. So now we will have the total amount of money that they all have to pay divided by the amount of people minus P people that that aren't paying. So all the people here are subtracted from P for the people who aren't paying. So it's going to be M minus P people. So the total amount that each of them are paying is Y over M minus P. Each of them. Great. Now the question asks us the additional amount that each of the remaining co-workers must pay. And the key is here, what is the additional amount that each of the co-workers must pay? And in order to do that, since we already have here the number of dollars that each person must pay, and we have here the number of dollars that the remaining of people have to pay. So we're going to subtract the amount that each of these additional remaining people have to pay minus the original amount that they had to pay. So the amount that each person had to pay now minus the amount that each person had to pay before. And the equation should look like this. Y over M minus P minus Y over M. And we need more space here, so put the same equation over here. So Y over M minus P minus Y over M. Now we have to simplify this further. And to simplify this, we have to make the denominators or the bases equal to each other. In order to do that, I'm just speaking in general terms, so you understand. So we have to make these bases things equal. So we have to multiply the whatever's not in this denominator by this, and multiply this by the m. So this will be m times m minus 1, and here m times m minus p. And whatever we multiply here in the denominator, we have to also multiply here in the numerator. Whatever we multiplied here in the denominator, we also have to multiply here in the numerator. So let's do it. M times m minus p, right? And m minus p, we have to multiply in the numerator. M will be up here, times y. Okay? Minus m times m minus p. We multiplied m times m minus p, so we're going to also put m minus p in the numerator. It will be y times m minus p. Now we can, since the denominators are the same, what we have broken apart can be brought together. What is broken apart can be brought together, and what is together can be broken apart if the denominators are the same. And in this case, the denominators are the same, so we can bring them together. So let's bring them together. Make that connection. Okay, so this will be y times m, and then we're going to distribute y into p, and then negative p, and then y times m. So it will be y times m minus y times p. And remember, there's a subtraction here. So it will be y times m minus, parentheses, ym minus yp. And we can simplify this even further by, first we have to, remember there's always an invisible 1 if there's a parentheses here. We're going to distribute negative 1 into ym, right? We're going to multiply negative 1 times ym, and then we're going to multiply negative 1 times negative yp. So we're going to get ym minus ym plus, because a negative times a negative is positive, yp over m times n minus p. Ym minus ym is not 0, so that crosses out, and we left off with yp on the top. And so our final answer will be yp divided by m times m minus p. And in your SAT book, if you left off, if your answer was yp divided by m times n minus p, right? And you look at the answer sections, you'll see y over m. Choice B will be y over m minus p. Then you see p over y, and choice C divided by m minus p and D. And then when you get to E, you'll see p times y divided by m times m minus p. And you may say, oh, but my answer is y times p. Well, it's the same thing because you're multiplying the answers. It's not like you're subtracting or doing other things. You're multiplying it, and you can use the multiplicative properties for this. If you're multiplying, it doesn't matter which order you're multiplying it. So we can change y times p to what we have here in the SAT book, to p times y. It's the same thing. So the answer here is E. Okay, folks? Good luck. See you when we meet up again. Bye-bye.